I've never seen such obedience in Gulan. There is some kind of magic at work here.
Regardless, it should make desert travel downright pleasant. Were it not for a brutal sandstorm. Any particular direction to find your wounded animal? Or are we just enjoying the weather?
How do you hope to find anything in all this?
Perhaps we find a cave first to catch our bearings?
Perhaps the injured animal is inside.
Whatever's inside is kicking up quite a bit of sand.
How do we reach it?
There's caves and tunnels aplenty out here. Let's find one and see where it takes us.
An entrance to the caves!
This cave extends underneath the desert.
Aye. A refuge for the Dark Elves by the looks of it. One of the few remaining now that they're barred from the temple. Perhaps we'll find Atreus' wounded animal down here.
Lead the way, Kratos. I trust you to not get us lost underground. These poor elves, blinded by hate, lashing out at everything and everyone for their fate.
They will not listen to reason. Combat is unavoidable.
Oh, trust me, I know. Still, I wish it were not the case.
Patience. A virtue or a threat?
Depends on the reader.
This creature Atreus heard, why wait until now to free it?
It was not a priority.
We were too busy attempting to stave off Ragnarok to indulge in any desert dalliances.
Shame. I imagine Atreus would have enjoyed a quest to free an injured enemy.
Yes, he would have.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to twist the knife.
He did not. Atreus has chosen his path. I trust him to be safe.
Good riddance! Enemy behind you, Kratos! Jetpack!
I wish I had your confidence with my own son when he was Atreus' age. Baldur craved adventure, but with the words of the Norns repeating in my head.
Your worry consumed you, as my rage once did to me.
You overcame it, eventually.
Thanks to Atreus. And his mother.
Yes. Perhaps if Odin had loved his children as much as he loved using them, both would still be with us.
Behind you, watch out!
The Alpha! The Alpha!
Atreus reminds me more of Freyr in his youth than of Balder. His sensitivity, his compulsion to help any and all in need.
That is his mother's influence. Despite all attempts to train him otherwise, Atreus was eager to help lost spirits or run errands for the dwarves during our travels together.
Faye's influence runs deeper than that. Why do you think you're the one assaulting a cave full of hostile dark elves to save a wounded creature?
Brother! The wee bastard's about to explode!
Excursions like this once served as training for Atreus, or an excuse to gather resources while testing his abilities. But I made him a promise. His voice as my guide.
And his voice told you to come out here?
He would approve. Strange that means more to me now than it did before he left.
You've said it yourself. Atreus takes after his mother. His approval is her approval.
Incoming! Above you!
A Hafgufa. I haven't seen one since I was a child.
Great Gefyun's ghost! That's the largest bloody Hafgufa I've ever laid eyes on.
That howling. It sounds familiar.
It's the Song of the Sands. They don't normally sing like this underground.
That must be the cause of the storm.
Aye. Judging by all this hive matter weighing it down, it's been trapped here for dozens of winters.
There must be a way to cut it loose.
I'd wager that there's nothing here a well-placed throw of the axe can't solve.
That helped. We've cut it loose, but it can't seem to escape.
Much of the hive matter is gone. We can free it from the surface now.
How in the realms did they capture such a large one?
Hafgufas are known to burrow, so I'd hesitate to place full blame on our dark elf friends.
Even though it's bound by their hive?
Hive matter doesn't belong to the dark elves, any more than the light belongs to the light elves. It's just another of Alfheim's natural resources. One the elves have used since the time of their ancestors. And while the light elves seem keen to banish the hive over on their side, the dark elves make effective use of it out here in the Barrens.
But if this is true, are we doing more harm than good by destroying this hive?
You wish to leave the creature enslaved?
No. Freyr would have wanted us to do everything in our power to restore this realm. We will free it.
Here! You should be able to cut this part away and free the Hafgufa!
Never imagined I'd see a Hafgufa fly again. Can't believe the lad missed this.
The storm is gone. The Song of the Sands has returned to Alfheim, albeit somewhat diminished from how I remember it as a child.
Atreus will be glad to hear it is no longer in pain.
You look forward to telling him.
One day. Yes.
You gave him a gift, allowing him to walk his own path. I know that wasn't easy.
I know you cared for him as well. You have always done right by Atreus.
He is the best of us.
Well, nice to be able to have a real... conversation out here for once. Impressive! Behind you! Poison!
Behind you! Look out!
Watch your right!
Yeah.
That's some of Kvasir's poetry.
Another raven freed.
Freya, when Hildisvini went to Helheim, how did he not freeze to death?
A perk of the Jofur.
The four-shifting warriors of Vanaheim, wise in statecraft as they are deadly on the battlefield.
So they may shift into whatever form they like.
Sure, so long as the only two shapes they'd like to shift into are human and boar. Another one of Dvaline's diagrams.
You spoke of his conscience.
Aye. He saw that the Aesir would likely use his powerful weapons to cut down his fellow dwarves, so he ripped out his design pages and scattered them.
What of him?
Well, the All-Father found out. He wasn't terribly pleased. Freya, I've always wondered, why was Freyr so revered here so quickly upon his first arrival?
Well, to begin with, it wasn't his first arrival. Very few know this, but Freyr was one of the earliest visitors to Alfheim, back in the dawn of realm travel.
Let this wait. Stay alert.
Freya, earlier you mentioned that Freyr was one of Alfheim's first visitors. Care to elaborate? I wasn't in these lands at the dawn of realm travel.
Wait. Be ready for combat.
On the left! Behind you! Look out! Freya, earlier you mentioned that Freyr was one of Alfheim's first visitors. Care to elaborate? I wasn't in these lands at the dawn of realm travel.
Well, we believed for a long time that all the giants had died in the flood, until one of them appeared in Vanaheim.
Set that aside for now. Come.
Sort of a harp. I can play beautifully, you know.
I do not, and would prefer it remain that way.
Freya, do you mind picking up that story about your brother? I think you said a giant had appeared in Vanaheim.
That's right. Her name was Gerd, and she came offering to teach us the secrets of traveling between realms using Bifrost light. Freyr became immediately infatuated with her. He always yearned to wander, and along came someone who could truly show him how.
No more for now. Focus.
Even worse for the Midgardian refugees. Learning the god they indebted themselves to didn't care for them at all. Such a profound but...
Aye, their homes will not be the only thing they will be rebuilding. Freya, getting back to your brother learning to realm travel. You said he fell in love with his teacher.
Yes, Gerd. Someone he could wander with as never before.
Hold. What is that? A vengeful berserker gravestone.
There, getting back to your brother learning to realm travel. You said he fell in love with his teacher.
Yes, Gerd. Someone he could wander with as never before. So, wander they did, exploring the world tree from root to branch. But one day, it came time for Gerd to wander away. Freyr was heartbroken, resolved himself to perform some great feat to win her back.
Hold. Let us search this area.
Much of the sand has been cleared away, but another storm rages beyond that pass, which must mean...
Another half-goofer.
Oh, it looks as though the Light Elves sealed off this section of the Barrens. Why?
Luckily for us, a very considerate goddess has enhanced our magic chisel, and we can unseal it.
My, that is lucky.
The forbidden sands lay beyond.
Contested territory, according to Bela. And another storm to endure.
I remember when Freyr and I traveled to this realm as children. The desert was healthy and full of life back then. I can't help but fear that era has ended for good and our efforts here are futile.
It's a fair concern. Healing this land will take more than a pair of singing half-goofer. But I have to believe in the long run, we're doing right by Alfheim. Well, best we start looking for a way underground.
Keep a lookout for a cave! I see an entrance!
Freyr never saw how poorly these lands fared in his absence, did he? He would appreciate our efforts out here.
Aye. Hearing the Song of the Sands again is a rare privilege, even if it's only a solo act.
Or a duet, once this Hofgufa is free. This architecture. It is not of the Dark Elves.
An abandoned ancient settlement by the looks of it. Built long before the Lightwell's creation.
More hive matter as well.
I'd say we're on the right track then.
Blocked.
Could I reach it from down here?
This kind of hive material is sensitive to sound. How odd. When I last came here with you and Atreus, I assumed the absence of Alfheim's light was an aberration. I didn't realize it was covered by hive.
Aye. And as far as the Dark Elves are concerned, it's that light column in the center of the temple that's the aberration. Just look at how old some of these surfaces are. Far older than the Lightwell, or even our trapped Halfgiffer for that matter.
Quite the empathetic perspective, Mimir.
Well, dangle from a burly god's backside for a few winters, and you'll find yourself looking for all sorts of new perspectives.
More hives, but denser. Well, there you go.
Good riddance! Enemies to your left!
Behind you, brother!
Light elves.
Enemy behind you, Kratos!
Behind you, brother!
Light elves don't often travel underneath the barons, do they?
Territory changes as often in Alfheim. Also it appears.
Big Veer did mention that these ruins have historical significance for the Light Elves. I assume they're only here to keep intruders out.
Well, at least they tried.
I suspect the corpse below would disagree. Good eye. Let's continue, shall we? outside!
I hope freeing these half-goofers will allow them to breed again. It was a dazzling display once. The skies of Alfheim filled with their song.
I imagine it's the lack of fresh light that's caused this pair to grow abnormally large. No use in having babies if there's nothing for them to feed on.
Trying to protect their children from the harsh world. I can relate. I wonder if these two comprehend the choice they face in the creed.
What choice do you speak of?
The life cycle of the Hofgufa. In order to breed, they must pass on their light to their children.
And without light, they will die.
I suppose that's all any of us can hope for in the end. That our death has purpose. That we can live on through our children. Well, given another chance, I know what choice I would make. Good. Almost there. Well done. Time to set it loose.
Aye, back to the surface then.
pipe.
Used in many of Freyr's blessings, I imagine.
The fate of these creatures, it reminds me of a story.
Does it?
There once was a blacksmith whose king commanded him to construct a box that could contain all the evils of the world. But no metal could hold it to power. So the blacksmith used the flame
Kratos, is this a story meant to ease my grief?
Perhaps it is just a story. A way to pass the time.
I appreciate the sentiment, but... well, your stories...
What about my stories?
I wouldn't exactly call them a comfort.
Fair. Mimir is the better storyteller.
Now, don't sell yourself short, brother. You've come a long way from the days of laconic fables.
It's okay. Finish your story, Kratos.
The blacksmith's daughter was the key to unlocking the box. He died trying to protect her from those who opened it.
Well, at least it's a relatable story.
It appears we've overstayed our welcome in Alfheim. Hit again.
Time to end this storm.
If my stories are of no comfort, take solace in knowing you did what you thought was best for your safety. Even these creatures know. There is little choice for a parent. You are not alone.
I'm not, am I? And now neither are they. Incredible.
Song of the Sands. Wow. Didn't know I could get misty. It's beautiful.
Thank you, Kratos. This land sings once more. We've done good here.
No rush to leave yet, is there? Who knows what kind of adventures await us in a freshly lit Barrens?
A monument to Freya. I wonder if he ever saw this.
That's odd. The runes are dark.
I'm grateful to see Freya remembered this way. But what purpose does all this serve?
Difficult to say without an inscription. But it looks like the elves built this place together, light and dark. Which means this would have been their first act of cooperation in generations. A far cry from lasting peace, but perhaps it served as a monument. One that symbolizes the potential.
This statue may have survived Freya's absence, but a truce clearly did not. Monuments are useless to those who ignore their message.
He didn't create a truce through diplomacy alone. His godhood, his very presence is what healed this land and allowed peace to take root. But once he left, he had to have known what would happen.
Well, he had good reason to leave. Some jackass convinced his sister to marry a madman.
You said monuments are useless. Why restore this one?
It was hidden for some time. Perhaps now it can serve as a reminder.
Aye. Nothing reminds people of their history like chiseled, well-lit marble.
These crystals contain their own light.
You're right. Normally we'd have to provide our own. Perhaps slotting a crystal on the opposite side could shed some light on this mystery.
Ugh. ring of crystal shards glow.
Looks like we can read the inscription now as well.
Light from the crystals. It is in the sand now.
Would you look at that? Freyr's gift endures after all. Should I say, his presence?
You are not... funny.
Even when Freyr was actually here, the peace was fragile. Surely a bit of extra light in the desert isn't enough to make it last.
Before I met Faye, I could not imagine a life of peace. After her death, in our travels to Jotunheim, I found peace on my own. It remains my responsibility to make
A
it
light elf
last.
statue in the desert. Odd.
Aye. Fair bet this is the sanctum Bigveer spoke of in Van Eyck. Freyr, getting back to your brother. What did he do to win back Gerd? And how did it end up with him being worshipped in Alfheim?
Well, Freyr thought big. He set his aim on the grandest of gestures. He intended to be the first to find the elusive source of Bifrost light.
Enough talk for now. Be ready. Freya, look.
A dawn bloom.
No more trolls.
You've made sure of that. Yet another sleeping beast. The handiwork of Alvis Stonefoot. It's about waking the trolls with a relic. Well, we already figured that out for ourselves, didn't we?
Another carving. The last ingredient in the recipe.
One more ingredient around here, brother.
meeting of Yari and Omer.
Ah, right. So the two agreed traveling together might be beneficial.
And less lonely.
Aye. Their bond with each other grew quickly, and the meals they shared became legendary. It was said that to dine with them could sustain you for weeks.
That was the last of the ingredients.
We could take them back to the cauldron in Midgard.
Perhaps we can bring these two animals back to Vanaheim, or Midgard even. Becky and Svanna could use the company. We have kennels.
It would not go well for them. Once a predator becomes accustomed to a land, it is cruel to move them.
I suppose you're right. It just seems lonely out here.
It is peaceful. They have each other.
Brother,
It-
you smell trouble, yeah?
Yelpa!
What's your right? Nicely done.
The hilt is drawn to the gravestone.
The Alti is stolen.
The king will lead us to glory! You are nothing!
Nasty hit. You all right, brother?
Waste of time! You are not!
Hunting these berserkers, I am reminded of our search for the Valkyries 2 winters ago.
I can see the similarities, aye.
There is one difference. With the Valkyries, you lack spite.
Brother, I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't know the full tale.
I know how it feels to be wronged, and how it feels to achieve vengeance. I would hope to spare you the disappointment.
Aye. Freya, returning to the story of your brother, you said he made it his mission to find the source of Bifrost's light.
He did indeed. And he succeeded, although quite by accident. Freyr believed he navigated best while fortified by a potent blend of Vanir herbs. When he wandered, he wandered. And he managed to wander from the World Tree directly into the Lake of Souls.
Later, I would search this way.
Freya, that story before of your brother, you said he wandered from the World Tree to the Lake of Souls.
It's true. The elves have never seen anybody come out of the lake before, so it got some attention.
Oh, that is bloody hilarious.
I don't know whether he worked his charms at that point or they just assumed him to be a great deity. But of course, he hadn't made this journey in search of responsibility, so he didn't stick around long. Still, the legend of his manifestation was passed along through the ages. It even endured after the Great Division, remembered by Light and Dark Elf alike.
Another time. We must focus.
Well, shame that's the last of Kvasir's poems.
Why not write your own?
Been a while since I dipped my quill into the ink pot of poetry, but maybe it's time to try again.
Kratos, the springs! Bring them down!
Nicely done! Keep on it!
Changing arrows!
A fair question.
With no clear answer.
Put it on one of my horns. Let's see if I can pull it off.
No.
An elven library.
An archive of knowledge.
No sign of the Light Elves.
For now.
Maybe they've left for the day, and we can browse at our leisure.
Look here.
That's the last of the missing schematics. I suspect you've got some new sword hilts in your future.
These texts alone are not enough to end the Elven War. But restricting their access only serves those who wish to prolong it.
Taking a page out of Odin's book.
Aye. Quite the advantage for the Light Elves.
This book is sealed, but there is an inscription. Consul.
Big Bear spoke of an exile of the same name. Odds are he'd like a gander at that particular text.
All this knowledge of their ancestors, their shared history, poetry, just sitting here, forgotten. What a waste.
Ah, it appears the librarian would like a word.
Lata Frambog.
Sounds like she wants that journal back.
No.
Behind you, brother!
Shield strike now!
No Salva. Lord, Yankee Vita. Helga Brotina.
She thinks she's protecting them by hiding all this knowledge away.
The elves do not need protection from their history. They need access. A new chapter awaits.
I'm impressed. Thought you were going to end her.
When last we traveled here, after Faye passed, I killed an elf of great importance. The ramifications were dire for his people. I do not wish to make the same mistake twice.
She's gone.
That? Or she's hiding again.
It matters not. The knowledge found here will spread. Her work is done.
Freya, will you continue that story about your brother? He stumbled into Alfheim, became a legend, and left?
He did make a lasting impression. So when at last he returned, he was uniquely situated to gain the trust of both sides and help to create a truce.
Not now.
What's your left?
Behind you!
Light elf architecture. It's massive.
A token.
A badge of honor. The elves made a few of these. They'd hang them up outside their dwellings. Show their support for my brother. That's all my brother's tributes.
Would you prefer we hang on to them?
Do what you will. If Freyr didn't bother taking them when he left Alfheim, he wouldn't learn to say. Something is coming, and it's not happy.
back there?
Your guess is as good as mine. Imprisoning a drake. Can't decide whether to be impressed or horrified.
Either way. It is over now.
You know, Freyr loved to breed Gulan pups in Vanaheim. I wonder if these two are the descendants of the Gulan he brought here long ago.
That explains how they got to the desert. Another gift for the Dark Elves. Freya, please, finish the story of your brother. He stumbled into Alfheim, became a legend, and returned ages later to bring peace?
That's correct. And both sides trusted him. The problem was, both sides trusted only him. So the peace could only last as long as he stayed around to keep it. And with the long war dragging on without an end in sight...
That's enough for the time being.
Quality stuff for you. Things are getting hotter. And what about Freya? Ah, just when I thought you couldn't get more godly. This here's the fun part. Better get that armor nice and bloody. This here's the fun part. Dane's legacy, the rage of Sather, forged into a single.
Can this lock be opened without damaging the book? The elves in Freya's camp wish to read it.
Now, why would anyone go and lock a book? Seems silly, ask me. I'm sure I can crack it open for you and get it over to Biggs and Bay. half crazy to say it, but... Okay. Oh, all right. Yep. Okay.
I wonder, how'd these two pups end up yoked to the sled?
Ever try flying in a sandstorm? I imagine Freyr showed the Dark Elves that Gulon could be trained to pull a plow. They must have found new uses for them once the sandstorm arrived. I imagine they're now bred to aid in traveling the surface.
From under the crow, dagger cold and bitter for pride.
I'm tired of you!
Nasty hit! You alright, brother?
This was the last, was it not? Only the king remains.
Aye, and if you thought his berserkers were tough, well, I've been thinking about what you said, brother. Maybe it's time to let this go. Slurping up. A dead man's soul with this old sword isn't gonna change the past.
It is good to hear you say that. But I plan to face him regardless.
What? After all your lecturing on vengeance and spite?
It is not wise to let a malevolent spirit wander Midgard. But I needed to know you wanted this for the right reasons.
Huh. Appreciate the sentiment, brother.
What can I do you for? Oh, this is real good for wood. Better for bone. This here's the fun part. This here's the fun part. My lady. What do you need, handsome?
Am I hearing voices again?
You are Atreus' friend.
Ah! Oh! Hi! Hey, you're Loki's dad, right? Saw you at the whole Ragnarok thing. I'm Skilder.
The lad who's been organizing the displaced Midgardians. What are you doing?
Oh, Loki told me this story about Odin inviting him to Asgard and giving him an Aesir coin that you threw away, and well, I thought I'd come here and see if I could find it. And I did, if you can believe it. But, it's kind of stuck, because you're, like, crazy strong, apparently. I'm sorry, did you want to keep it?
No. It is yours.
You sure? It's probably really valuable. I mean, that's not why I'm after it, but if I were gonna sell a genuine Asgardian artifact touched by at least 3 gods, I'd expect that'd fetch, well, a whole lot. Probably enough to buy my own boat, set out, and make my fortune.
The coin is yours. Good luck to you.
Thanks. You too. And if you see Thrud, never mind.
You wished word of Thor's daughter.
Thrud? You saw Thrud? How is she?
She is well. She has recovered her father's hammer.
Oh, that's amazing. Don't you worry. She's gonna do good with that thing. She's an amazing person. Probably my favorite. I mean, not like that. She doesn't have time for boys, but I don't care. She's just great. Is it getting warmer? I feel like it's getting warmer. How about that thaw?
King Hrolf's gravestone. It's reformed. Guess there's only one thing left to do. A shield if you're not going to use it. Careful, brother. You're covered in bygone. I felt that one, brother!
The realms will run red.
Kratos, we need you!
Nasty hit! You all right, brother?
Know your place.
Come on, Kratos, off your back.
Careful, brother! You're covered in bifrost! Nasty hit! You all right, brother? Not sure if that was justice or vengeance.
The two are not always at odds.
What do you intend to do with Skofnung now?
I intend... to use it.
No! Don't you understand the legacy that thing carries? Not to mention the souls of evil berserkers.
I will use it for good.
That won't erase its history.
No. But the story of this sword is still being written. Future generations will weigh its good deeds against the bad and decide for themselves.
You've come a long way from when I first met you, brother.
I have had good counsel since then, brother.
Look. Over there.
Finish the story.
Gladly. It was said that Yari and Somer first shared a kiss in the fields of Jotunheim.
Oh? How'd they manage to reach Jotunheim?
Don't know. Point is, they went on countless expeditions, each location more beautiful than the last. But they found as they did, the destination became less important than simply traveling together.
And the unnameable thing?
It was home. Yari and Somer had found it in each other.
need your sword sharpened, milady?
We've need of your services.
Right. Business time. This here's the fun part. Already? Got time to chat?
Ding dong, hello. Well, any questions before you travel on?
Ratatoskr, I'm curious. You said the tree had plans for you. What exactly has it got you doing?
What do I not do, my decapitated delight? I overlook and maintain the stability of the realms, ensure that everything is running smoothly. And, of course, I tend to the world tree. I listen to it, make sure its needs are met.
We go.
1,000 apologies, my friend. I did not mean to bore you.
You're on fire, Kratos! It will pass!
Use a shield strike!
Watch your right! I believe that was the last stronghold of Asia.
So, Odin's oppressive ways have finally ended.
Are you satisfied?
Yes. Perhaps the realms may finally find peace and healing.
It does not.
See which armpit of Muspelheim that seed leads to, huh?
Muspelheim. I thought the climate would be pleasant after Midgard's winter. I was wrong.
Aye, but it's a dry heat.
Oh, hey, y'all! Come for the combat trials, or just see little old me?
An ash
How
pile.
about that? The sea did lead us to Sutter's Gauntlet.
Ragnarok armor's on the house. We'll call it a commemorative piece. This here's the fun part. Want to talk for a spell?
Gna. She's fierce. Attack only if you think we are ready.
Good! I'll see you pay for what you've done!
It's sigil magic!
You're nothing! Submit! God of no one! This was inevitable! So is this!
Nasty hit! You alright, brother?
Submit! Asgard's blood is on you! Fade in fire!
Perhaps my sigil arrows!
For Asgard! Murderer! You deserve to be alone! Asgard's blood is on you! Submit! God of no one! I'll tear you apart! Asgard's blood! For Asgard! God, kill her!
This has to end!
There can only be one true queen! No matter what you tried, the results will be the same. Good! I'll see you pay for what you've done!
Careful, brother! You're covered in Bifrost!
The Alpha!
blood is on you!
Nasty hit! All right, brother!
Unworthy!
Getting someone?
Asgard's blood! Rise! Rise!
Sonic arrow!
Die! Submit! Asgard's blood is on you! Blood is not enough! For Asgard! For Asgard! For Asgard! Asgard blood! Let's settle this. Good! I'll see you pay for what's done! Kneel! Rise! Rise!
Soundstone!
Die!
The Alpha!
You abandoned me! Not enough! I failed! You judge me. You, whose cowardice has left entire realms in ruin.
Sister, I know the hate that burns you from within. I have felt those flames, known the comfort of their warmth. I wronged you. And I cannot change that. Never apologize enough for it. But the hatred, vengeance, you have to let it go.
Finish it.
Yes, sister.
Freya, I'm sorry it came to that.
I gave her what she wanted.
So then, how's it feel being Queen of the Valkyries once more?
Queen. Why? There are no Valkyries left.
The Shield Maidens. Will you not lead them? Or rebuild?
Maybe. It would be the first time in a while I have something truly mine. We'll see.
This here's the fun part. Sword sharpened, milady?
Hello, Lunda.
Mommy and Daddy tied the noose tight to send us to Odin to bask in his light.
Did they just say what I think they said?
Yes.
Away from my children. Have you any idea how long?
Enough!
Aren't you looking lovely today?
We've need of your services. And still they come.
Right side!
How many more can there be?
Enemy behind you, Kratos!
Sure. Why not?
The Alpha! We'll take it down together.
We can do this.
Enemy behind you, Kratos!
The arrows will bring her down.
Well done, brother. Clearly the ravens, the children, appreciated it as well.
Is there no... thing to be done for them?
I believe we have done something.
Perhaps.
Well, aren't y'all looking lovely today?
We've need of your services.
This here's the fun part. Oh, heading up already? Got time to chat?
Lunda.
Hi there. I wanted to ask, do you want me to stop talking about your muscles and how you look and stuff? Because it seems like it's making you all wiggly, like in a bad way.
It did, but no longer.
Oh, okay. So I should stop? Sounds like I should stop.
No.
Oh, all right, handsome. You beefcake?